You guys have really inspired a whole industry. You know, when the DSHEA Act was passed in 1994, Echinacea was the first one out the gates that became the real, herbal superstar, right? I would love to hear the story of like how it started, why that plant, or, how that differed from the other plants you guys were already dealing with in the company.
The whole story is about that. Our founder, A.Vogel, he loved to travel. And so he built up his business. So he started in 1937. And then, so in the 50s, he became really successful, that he could simply install a CEO, and then he could do what he liked most, that was going on a journey. A.Vogel then pointed the story a little bit as if Echinacea was not known in Europe at that time, but it's not true. In Germany, it was quite well known already. But here in Switzerland, and so it was not that well known. And so he started working with this plant and developed then the product, which he called Echinacea. So to this day, 70 years ago, that's also why we're celebrating making a little celebration, 70 years Echinacea. It was his favorite product. It consists of 95% of Echinacea, the fresh plant herbal, and 5% of the root added to it. It's our key product, our main product. It works really very well. That we have seen that the Echinacea alone directly against viruses is very strong. The funny thing was we were there in a process of screening a lot of plants because we want to have an antivirally active plant, and in the end, or extract, and in the end, the Echinacea was simply the strongest. That was
Oh, interesting.
So designed by nature a bit. It's interesting that you have the anti-inflammatory part, the immune modulatory, and the direct antiviral part. And this is, if you could design it on a machine or so, that's exactly how you want to have it as a cold medication. And the interesting thing was then, so when I joined the company, it was around 1998 or so, Echinacea was under a lot of pressure from tabloids or press. So there was a lot of bad press, like it doesn't work, it hampers your immune system, on and on. We simply couldn't counter all this because we didn't have any scientific data. We lived from up till then. A.Vogel died in 1996. We believed a lot simply from the legacy of A.Vogel, that he told his story and people simply believed in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a bit do or die for the company. Sometimes it doesn't work as planned, but in the end, you have seen this product really work. So what I'm telling you in a short run was the work of about 20 years. But sometimes when we had these big trials, this prevention trial, the analysis was about half a year of it. It was still blinded, and it was nerve-wracking. The people involved also, we almost couldn't sleep, what is the outcome? There's so much money invested, on and on. And of course, you need also to publish trials these days, no matter if they're positive or negative, but at the end, everything, like in a fairy tale, it turned out well. In Switzerland, we are a registered medicinal product. It's a bit a special route you can take, but in the end, it's more or less treated like a normal medicinal product. So we're registered, and we're also on prescription in Switzerland, that it's on a special list, so doctors can prescribe you when you come and say you have this and that. They can prescribe it. It's quite nice, and European-wide, it is registered as a herbal medicinal product. So it means for quality-wise, needs to fulfill exactly the same standards as any synthetic medication. But from the rest, the clinical side is a bit more on the traditional side that is accepted. And so we are really trying to be in this higher level all the time. Also then that we can reach more the pharmacists and the doctors to have a high-quality product and do not drown in this big sea of low-quality food supplements. At the core of it was, besides that this is a business, simply the curiosity, what is in there, this is so beautiful, how much there is to explore. And I think this is often a bit forgotten these days, how much there is to see, and simply how does it work? It's so great.
Yeah. Well, you know that I'm of the same mind.
Yeah.